All right, welcome back to Musicians Editions. Today in the Essential Elements book, we're going to look at number 120 from the snare drum section of the book, right? And we're using some more kind of combinations of single strokes and double strokes here, mixed in with some buzzes, right? Kind of like we were in number 119, but number 120 kind of takes it a little bit of a little step forward here. All right, so like we did last time, we're going to start on the practice pad so that we can work out some of these stickings and get lots of repetitions without having to listen to the drum so much and that sort of thing, right? So practice pad, always a great option to start practicing on before you move to the drum, okay? So in number 120, you see that we use a right, left, right, and sticking quite a bit, and we also use the opposite of that, left, right, left, left, okay? So let's just practice that sticking in isolation, right? It's the only one, there's that sticking and then one more sticking that we didn't use in number 119. So let's kind of practice each of those separately. So we have right, left, right that we need to work out, right? So right, left, right, left, right, and just play enough repetitions of that until it feels really, really easy and natural. And one of the tricky things about that is getting your left hand, there's only one left hand in that pattern, and try to get it to sound like the three right hands that we play. Right, so listen really closely to each stroke while you're practicing. Okay? Now we're going to practice the other sticking, the reverse of that, left, right, left, okay? So left, right, left. Take it nice and slow and work it out. And again, making sure that each stick is bouncing up to the same height each time, right? That's going to make it much more possible, or much more likely that all of your strokes are going to sound the same if the sticks are always coming up to the same height each time, right? Left, right, left. Left, right, left. Okay? Now there's one more sticking in here that we haven't seen yet that we're going to practice in isolation. Remember we did right, left quite a bit in number 119. So we've done that one a bunch. Right, left, right, left. But we haven't done the opposite of that, which we see here in this piece a couple of times, which is left, right. Left, right. Okay, so we have right, left, right. We have left, right, left, and we have left, right. That we kind of want to practice in isolation before we try to put it in context here. Okay, now once we're comfortable with those stickings, now we can look at some of the combinations that we have in this piece, right? The first combination we see of that is we put the right, right, and the left, left back to back, right? So take it nice and slow. It's going to take a little bit of time to kind of work out that coordination, but we're going to go right, left, left. Okay, so let's try that a couple times. Right, left, left. Right, left. Okay, so practice that combination a bunch of times until you can get it all to sound nice and even, right? And then we're going to put this with a little bit of, you know, what is commonly referred to as a check pattern, right? We're going to play 2 beats of 16th notes alternating, and then we're going to play 2 beats of 16th notes with this sticking and see if we can get those two things to sound the same, right? So see if we can get this to sound as close to this as we can, right? Which is really the ultimate goal of using this type of sticking versus alternating, is we want to be able to control it all enough that it can all sound the same, right? So then we can use whatever sticking we need to execute a certain passage without sacrificing sound or without changing the sound from passage to passage, okay? So let's try that a few times. We're gonna go right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. And then we're going to loop that exercise a couple of times so we can get a lot of repetitions at it, right? And what we're listening for is that all of the 16th notes sound exactly the same, nice and even, okay? Here we go. ready, and go. E, and right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Again. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Right, and as we're doing this, you want to be kind of looking at your hands, looking at your sticks, making sure that when we go from one sticking to the other sticking, that our hands are working the same way to get those. And then we want to kind of be glancing at the beads of our sticks and making sure that they're coming up to the same height each time, right? So your eyes can kind of scan around from your hands to the tip of your sticks, make sure that everything's moving the same no matter what the sticking is, okay? All right, another pattern that we're going to practice here before we start working on the piece itself is we have that in measure 2, you see on beat 2, we have that left, right, right that we practiced earlier, followed by 4 buzz strokes, right? Or a quarter note with a Z through the stem, which means we're going to buzz with a 16th note pulse, right? So we're going to end up playing left, right, right, and then in buzzes, left, right, left, right, left. So that looks like this: left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left. Left, right, right, buzz, 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 left. Left, right, right, buzz, 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 left. One of the difficult things about that is going to be starting the buzz strokes with your left hand, which is something we haven't really done much yet, right? So you want to really make sure that you're focusing on getting that first buzz to be on your left hand, right? There's a tendency to want to always start it on your right hand, okay? So we're trying to kind of build that coordination. That way, in the future, you have the flexibility to start those buzz strokes on either hand, depending on what's going on around it, right? And making them sound really nice either way, okay? So let's practice that a few times. Left, right, right, buzz, 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 left. 2, ready, go. Again, ready, go. Okay, and loop that as many times as you need to, right? And then once it's comfortable, now we can start to string more of this piece together, okay? So if we look at measure 1, we have right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left. So let's do all of measure 1. 1, 2, and ready, go. Right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left. Okay, let's play that again. Ready, go. Okay. Now let's look at measure 2. This uses the left, right, right with the 4 buzzes starting on the left hand. Okay. What I might do in a passage like this is take my pencil and over the top of the buzzes I'll write an L. That will just be a little reminder that I need to start those buzzes on my left hand. Okay. So here's measure 2. Right, left, right, right, left, right, right, buzz, 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 left, right. So let's try that whole measure. And ready, go. Yep, and remember the first couple times through, we want to say the stickings out loud, or at least make sure that we're thinking them, right? Let's try it again. I'll say the stickings this time. And ready, go. Right, left, right, right, left, right, right. Buzz, 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 left, right. Okay? Now we can put measure 1 and 2 together. But when we do this, it's going to be a little bit difficult to kind of manage all of the switching back and forth from sticking to sticking, right? So one thing we can do when we start expanding the amount of music that we're doing at one time is slow down the tempo a little bit. Okay, so we're going to start at the beginning, play the first 2 measures a little bit slower so we have some more time to think about what stickings we need to use. Okay, so here we go. Ready, and go. And right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, buzz, 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 left, right. Okay. Give that as many reps as you need. it's going to take a little bit, right? And just know it's going to take a while, and don't get frustrated with it, right? It's just going to take some repetitions for your hands and your brain to be able to communicate with each other which hands need to move when, okay? Now, once you're comfortable with that, let's move on to measure 3. Now you see measure 3 is the same as measure 1 rhythmically, but the stickings are opposite of what we did in measure 1, right? So we start with left, right, left, left, and then right, left, right, right, and then left, right, right, left, right. So let's try that, starting on the left hand here in measure 3. And ready, go. Left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right. Now let's try that again. And ready, go. Left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right. Okay? And then you see measure 4 is the same as measure 2, but again, the stickings are opposite. So we're starting with the left hand in measure 4. Left, right, left, left, right, left, left. Buzz is starting on the right hand. Buzz, 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 right, left. So let's try measure 4. Ready and go. Left, right, left, left, right, left, left, buzz, right, left. Okay? Now let's do measure 3 and 4 together. Okay? 2 and ready, go. Left, right, left, left. Okay? Now once you've given measure 3 and 4 a few repetitions, you've given measure 1 and 2 a few repetitions, now we're going to put all the first 4 measures together. And at this point we need to probably take the tempo down just a little bit because we're doing a pretty large chunk of music here, okay? So we're going to go a little bit slower, and we're going to do all the first 4 measures. And ready and go, and... Okay, that's a lot to think about, right? So give it plenty of time. If you find that there's certain spots in there that you're stumbling over or that are difficult to manage, go back and work on just that measure, right? Or just that pattern in the measure, and then slowly work your way back out to doing all 4 measures again, okay? Once that's comfortable, let's look then at the second half of the piece. So you'll see in the last measure, we have a similar measure to measure 2, right? Right, left, right, right, left, right, right, buzz, 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 4, but without the 8th note at the end like we have in measure 2, right? So let's do just the last measure, measure 8, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, buzz, 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 4. Ready, go. Okay, and hopefully that's pretty comfortable because you practice measure 2 a whole bunch, and all you have to do that's different from measure 2 and measure 8 is play one less note, okay? So now let's look at the measure before that, measure 7. So again, we have that right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left pattern that we practiced before. That's why we wanted to practice that so much in isolation before we go working on the whole piece, right? So here's measure 7, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left. Ready, go. Okay, so you'll see measure 7 and 8 almost the same thing as 1 and 2, right? So as long as you practice 1 and 2 really, really well and are really comfortable with it, 7 and 8 shouldn't be a big deal, right? Just kind of a little refresher and we're ready to go. Now measure 5 and 6 are different, right? So if you look at measure 5, our sticking is right, right, left, left on the 16th notes. Right, right, left, left, okay? Which is different from what we've done so far in this piece. We have right, right, left, left, right, left, but then we have a familiar sticking on beat 3. Right, left, left, right, left. So we put the whole thing together. Right, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left. Let's try that. Ready, go. And again, ready, go. Okay, Now in measure 6, we have a roll at the beginning, so we're going to buzz starting on the right hand. Buzz, 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 right, left, right, left, left, right, left. Let's try that together. Ready, go. Buzz, 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 right, left, right, left, left, right, left. Now let's try 5 and 6 together. 2, and ready, go. Okay, now once 5 and 6 are comfortable, let's play 5, start measure 5 and play all the way to the end. So we got 4 measures here. Remember, it's a good time to back the tempo down just a little bit since we're doing a larger chunk of music. And ready and go, and right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Okay, so that's 5, 6, 7, and 8. Again, give that plenty of repetitions, right? That way it feels nice and comfortable. And let's put the whole piece together on the practice pad, okay? And then after we get comfortable with the whole piece on the practice pad, we'll play the whole thing on the drum, okay? So here we go, the whole piece on the practice pad. We'll go just a little bit slower here and really focus on the stickings. And 1 E and 2 E and ready and go, and okay, so that's the whole piece. Again, once you're comfortable with that, then we'll play the whole thing on the drum, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, and 3 E and 4 E and okay, so there's a lot to do there in number 120, right? As you can see, there's a lot of things we need to break down, a lot of things we need to pull out and practice in isolation, but be careful that you don't get in a hurry, right? And don't skip those steps, because that's what's gonna make it attainable for you to get through all those things, is by pulling those different components apart, practicing them all individually, and then slowly putting it all back together, okay? So take your time, be patient, and have fun with number 120, and I'll see you next time.